Welcome back to another video, everyone, and in today's video we're going to be going over some questions you guys asked me. I was supposed to film this video at Highland today, but it was insanely busy and everything with the holidays, so I didn't have time to answer the questions there. So I'm just going to be playing my skiing videos from today while I go over some of these questions. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video and the first question. My first question is from Mike YD. What tips would you have for someone doing park skiing for the first time? I'm from Florida and only have been skiing twice, but I can do blues somewhat comfortably. I want to try park skiing. It just looks like so much fun. What tips would you have for someone who has only 3 days this year to ski and is starting the park for the first time? And the first thing I would just say is have fun with it. If you can only ski park for a few days, just getting comfortable with being in the park, trying out your first jump, maybe try to learn your first box slide. If you really want to get into it, maybe try to learn your first rail slide. But don't go too crazy right at the beginning. There's a little bit of a learning curve with park skiing. So just have fun with it. Start with learning your first jump, your first basic straight airs, learning just basic rail slides, just getting into it and learning some of the basics. If you're wanting to ski park, I'd also recommend getting a pair of park skis. I ride the Fisher Nightstick 90s. They're a pretty great park ski. You don't have to ride park skis when you're just starting out, but it really helps with riding switch if you have twin tips and everything and just sliding rails and having a ski that's built for park. So that's definitely what I would recommend too. But overall, just have fun with it. Learn some of your first tricks, your first rail slides and jumps, and it's a lot of fun. My next question is from Oren Ardley. How long have you actually been committed to doing park skiing? And can you give me a timeline of 5 years of what you should be doing at every season? For example, in your second season of park, should you be doing backflips, or in your third season, should you be doing corks and misties? So obviously the timeline for everyone is going to be a little bit different. For me, my progression was pretty good, but it actually took a few years for me to learn some more advanced tricks. For example, I started out hitting rails a lot, and then by my second or third season, I started hitting jumps. So it really just depends for everyone. I would say if you're really into park skiing and you're really into jumps, for example, you could learn your first upright spins within a year or two. So your first 180s, 360s, if you're more advanced, things like 540s and 720s. Depending on how comfortable you are with flips on trampoline, you could probably learn your first flip on skis your second or third year. Some people are going to be watching this and they're like, I learned my first backflip my first year skiing. And some people are going to be like, it took me 8 years to learn my first backflip. So it really just depends for people. Once you get to your third, fourth, or fifth year skiing, people usually start to learn their first off-axis tricks. So corks and misties and things like that, maybe switch corks. But it really just depends for everyone. I wouldn't care so much about other people's progression because everyone just progresses at a different rate based on what sports they did before they started freestyle skiing. And it really just depends on each person. So I wouldn't worry about it so much. My next question is from IKA the Goat. Do you have any tips for me for someone that's scared to do tricks in front of others? I can only do a shifty and I'm scared to do it in front of the good guys. So the one thing I'll say about this is do not care what others think about your skiing or what you think others might think about your skiing. The fact that you're crashing in front of other people and learning new tricks, everyone knows what it was like to be there, especially the more advanced riders. So don't pay any attention to them. And really a lot of people, this is just in their minds. They think that it's embarrassing to be falling in front of other people and trying new tricks. It's really not. It's such a big part of free skiing is falling and learning new tricks and that whole process. So do not worry about this at all. And the more that you worry about this, it's really going to hurt your progression. And this is something that you have to get over when you first start park skiing is you have to be okay with falling in front of other people and embarrassing yourself. And it's just part of the sport. My next question is from Romo Random Stuff. Will you ever do a meet and greet at Highland where you are from? I probably will never do a meet and greet. A lot of people even today just came up to me and said hi. So if you ever see me anywhere at Highland or really anywhere else, don't be afraid to come up and say hi. I love meeting everyone. I love meeting all the viewers and subscribers and people that watch my videos. So we'll probably never do an official meet and greet. And that's kind of the cool thing about skiing park and the community here is you can just come up and say hi if you want. It's really no big deal. And you don't have to do an official meet and greet or something. My next question is from Kurto EU. When did you start skiing? I first started skiing when I was really little, maybe 4 or 5 years old is when I first went, but I did not go consistently for a long time until about 6 years ago was my first season skiing park. And ever since then, I've been skiing a ton. Every season, as much as I could, I went to the park and started skiing. So this will be my 7th year park skiing. The next question is what skis, helmet, boots, etc. to use? For all of my gear and everything, I leave it in the description: skis, boots, helmet, everything. So any questions you have on that, just look in the video description down below. My next question is from Ramen Boy. What was your favorite season and why? This is kind of a hard one to answer because recently doing the YouTube videos and everything, I've really been enjoying that. But if I look back, some of my first years skiing park are actually the most fun. Like my first year when I was first learning how to hit rails and do my basic tricks, basic spins on jumps, those were honestly some of the most fun years that I had skiing park. So for those of you that are just beginning and just starting skiing park, really enjoy the process of learning stuff as a beginner because it's some of the most fun days when you learn how to hit your first rail, you hit your first jump, and that's probably the most fun I ever had skiing park was just some of my first seasons. And don't get me wrong, I've had a lot of fun recently the last few years when I've learning bigger tricks like my first doubles and everything. But if I had to say my favorite season, it was probably just my first season skiing park. Next question is from the Porsche. What is your favorite trick? My favorite trick for sure is going to be a cork 7 blunt on a jump. Cork 7s are probably my best off-axis trick. I love doing them. I can do them in my sleep. And then my favorite grab with them is just a blunt grab. It's for some reason the most satisfying grab. You grab all the way back on the end of your ski. I like to cross it too. It's just one of my favorite tricks. I do them all the time. If you ever see me skiing park, you'll probably see me doing a cork 7 blunt. It's just my favorite trick and it will never get old doing them. The next question is from Schizophrenia 2. How do I man up for bigger jumps with a fear of heights? So for hitting bigger jumps, it's really the same thing as hitting regular size jumps. The only thing that's a little bit different is you're getting a little bit more airtime. So what I would say for someone that's hitting a bigger jump for the first time, make sure you have the speed right. So if you can follow one of your friends in that already knows how to hit the jump, or if you can at least watch someone else hit the jump, that way you know the speed is dialed. Once you have the speed right, just make sure that you have good fundamentals and basics. Remember to push your shins into the front of your boots so you don't get knocked off balance. Make sure that you have a nice athletic stance and you're popping off the end of the lip. Now that you know the basics and the fundamentals of trying smaller jumps, just try it and just send it. It's a lot easier than you think. It's just very intimidating the first time you're hitting bigger jumps, but it's really the exact same thing. You just get a little bit more airtime. It's actually a lot more fun hitting bigger jumps, and I think it's a lot easier than you'll actually think it is. Next question is from Fear Me. This is my second year skiing, and I'm going to start learning features on park. So you think I should learn how to hit jumps first, or should I try to ride boxes and rails? So for this, it really just comes down to you, whichever one you want to learn first. I started hitting rails and boxes first, but that was just because my local resort had a lot of rails and didn't have a lot of jumps. So it really just depends on what you want to do. If you want to learn how to hit jumps first, definitely do that. If you want to learn how to hit rails first, you can do that too. I would say don't focus too much on one of them. You don't want to be hitting only jumps for like 3 years straight. You want to have a good amount of skills and a good amount of time spent between both of them. My next question is from Ski for Life. Did you ever ski in Vermont? If so, what resort? I've actually never been to Vermont. I've never been to really anywhere on the East Coast. So if you are from the East Coast, drop a comment down below and let me know where you think I should go. Because I think at some point I'll end up skiing at the East Coast, or maybe Vermont, who knows. So make sure you drop a comment down below because I need to know what some of the best parks and some of the best resorts are on the East Coast. Next question is from PT Cat. This is my second year attempting park skiing and I can barely do anything. I'm sort of comfortable with jumps, but when I try to add easy tricks like a shifty, I just can't. I'm really confused because it isn't like I'm not an athletic person or anything. Is there anything I might be doing wrong or what's stopping me from progressing? So this is actually really common, and this is something that I even struggled with when I first started park skiing. Park skiing is pretty different than any other sport. It's really tough mentally, just trying to learn new tricks and getting over the fear of them. And it's not like athletics don't play a part. They definitely do. But you don't have to be necessarily super athletic to start park skiing. It's not necessarily your athleticism. It just might be some of your techniques and fundamentals for when you're trying new tricks. You don't want to do the shifty too early. You want to make sure when you're balanced, that's when you go for the shifty. You swing your skis fully to the side so you can get them fully all the way back. It's just little things like that. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not unathletic or anything. It's just getting used to free skiing. It's tough mentally and it's tough just with the different techniques and everything, so don't sweat it too much. This is a pretty common problem for everyone. My next question is from Pangea Crew. How far away are you from making a full-time living off of winter skiing? are you close to getting sponsored? So with this year, with all the support you guys have been giving me, I've been able to do skiing and YouTube and everything full time. So I'm super grateful for that. So thank you to all of you guys that watch my videos and like and subscribe and support the channel. I'm super grateful that I'm able to do this full time, and it's something that I definitely don't take for granted. And for the are you close to getting sponsored part, I am sponsored. Shout out Fisher Skis. I imagine as time goes on, I'll get more sponsors, but it's not something that I worry about too much as of right now. Next question is from Feature Fanatic. Can you break down simple steps to staying balanced and stable on rails and tubes? So a couple quick, easy, simple tips for staying balanced is going to be to make sure that you commit fully and you pop onto the rail, but you don't pop too hard. Once you get onto the rail, commit fully to it, spin 90 degrees on. And as far as when you're first starting out, put a little bit of extra weight on your front foot. It's going to help with balance. A lot of people naturally, out of fear, they lean back a little bit. So make sure you put a little bit of extra weight on your front foot. That will help you a little bit with balance when you're first learning how to hit rails. Next question is from Lil Easy. What is easier and safer to learn, a front flip or a back flip? So this one will depend a little bit on the person. Some people naturally like to spin forward a little bit more. Some people naturally like to spin backwards a little bit more. For me personally, I like spinning backwards a little bit more. It's just a little bit more natural to me. So for me, backflips are easier. I would say in general, most people will find backflips easier because they're easier to spot the landing. You have much more time to spot the landing. You're going off of the lip backwards, which is the natural direction of the lip. You're not fighting the lip a little bit like you are on a front flip. The only thing which makes backflips a little bit harder is they're just a little bit scarier and harder to commit to for the first time. Some people think it's a little bit easier to commit to a front flip for the first time. They're just a little bit less scary. But I would say in general, backflips are a little bit easier and I would say safer to learn. But with one important thing, you do have to fully commit to it and you do have to kind of know what backflips already feel like. My next question is from Hanzich. Is twin tip necessary for switch skiing? Twin tips are not necessary for switch skiing, but they definitely help a lot, and you're not going to have a very fun time skiing switch if you don't have twin tips. It's kind of easy to catch your back edge, and it's just a little bit different, and it's just a little bit harder and not as fun of a time. So if you're going to be doing a lot of switch skiing or a lot of skiing in the park, definitely get a pair of twin tips. My next question is from It's DM. What is a good park ski to get, and do you need a certain type of ski to ride park? Because I've been using rentals. That's a good question, and like the last question, you definitely need twin tips if you're going to be taking park skiing seriously. I ride the Fisher Nightstick 90s, and I've loved these park skis, and the durability on them has been great, so I definitely recommend getting the Fishers. They're a really good park ski, and I have no complaints or no problems with them. Well, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit of a different style of video. If you want to be on the next Q&A, make sure you leave a comment down below because I'm going to be going off of this video's comments. So if you have any questions about skiing or anything else, or maybe I didn't answer your question in today's video, leave a comment down below and I'll try to get to as many as I can in the next Q&A. But thank you guys for watching. Remember, if you're new here, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.